All right, we're here at my outdoor worm bin, and what we're gonna do is we are gonna dump the whole thing out and kind of do a little inspection on the 20-gallon grow bags that we have here. So let's kind of open it up, and the first thing I'm gonna do is just take the outside one out real quick. And we'll just kind of look and see what we have in here. Now, it looks like we do have some worms that kind of make their way out, and they end up in this bag. But I'm pretty sure they can come and go as they please, so I don't get too worried about, them getting trapped in here. But this bin looks pretty good. The integrity of it is pretty good. We do have one little hole right here. Let me see if I can get my blue glove. And then this hole has been here for about 2 years or so. And this whole system is about 3 years old. The bag itself was bought probably a year before that, so we're talking 4 years, and this bag is looking really good. So there's our outside bag. I'll get those worms and I'll put them in this one later. But yep, the integrity of this is pretty good. We are going to have a one hole in here as well, and I'll put a link to the video where a critter had gotten into here, but again, nothing since then. So let's go ahead and look inside. And it's been, I think, 23 days since we put that one food in there, and that was a watermelon. And I've got a little frog here I'm gonna get out. Woo! I'm outside, so I'm able to just kind of dump them right out there, and right here in the center is where we put that watermelon. And look at that, no signs at all, just complete castings. So let's go ahead and dump this out, and we are gonna get a count of the worms. And no, we're not gonna actually count them. What we're gonna do is weigh them. So let's dump this out. We do have a couple in here, but I'm not too worried about that. So check it out. This is the mass of vermicompost that we have going in this bin. This is pretty large. I would say it's probably 3 feet in diameter. So let's kind of dig in. What we're looking at right here is the bottom, and the moisture level is perfect, but check out all those worms in here. Every handful is just going to have a ton of worms, and you can see some of these pine needles. They're looking darker and they're definitely more crispy, so that's good. We'll continue on with that experiment. So let me just kind of take around the sides and try and get all the worms to kind of get into one area, and then we'll be able to weigh them out. But in the meantime, I'm going to look and see if we can find some of this long-term food like the mango seed. And what we'll do is we are going to try and break these kinds of things up, and if I have any kind of peach seeds, that kind of thing, I brought some pliers for them. So let's go ahead and get going. All right, I think what I'm gonna do is check on this bin just like this real quick, and what we're gonna do is fill it up, because what I wanna do is put the castings into here. And one of the things that can happen with this bin is you get a worm that kind of has a string that it kind of nuzzled through. So I'm just gonna get him out real quick. It can certainly do it on its own, but I'm gonna give it a try. There we go, safe and sound. All right, so let's put some bedding in here, because I wanna kind of fill the bottom with this shredded cardboard. All right, that's not nearly as much as I wanted in there, so I'm going to do a little bit more. All right, in there. There we go, much more full. So we're gonna set this to the side, and as we are getting castings, we're just gonna put them right back into this bin. And I'm not worried about harvesting right now. We can do that the next time we check in about 10 days, because right now I'm just kind of trying to get the worms to the middle and get any of the hard things or long-term food out and kind of break it up a little bit. Now, surely I'm gonna be missing some worms, but hopefully as we kind of go along the sides, most of them will kind of feel what I'm doing and kind of scramble towards the middle. If I do find any clumps of worms, what I'll do is I'll just put them inside here.
Every time you say something, then there's worms.
I know.
Like,
I'm like trying to find the best way to do this. Come on, worms, just go down, go down. Oh, I accidentally, got my peanut butter and my jelly mixed up. Can you imagine what it's gonna look like when it's just worms at the bottom?
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be crazy. I mean, this is massive. I guess I didn't realize how much was in this bin. There's so many different better ways I could have done this, like doing a partial bait out or something like that, you know?
Well, we like to do things the hard way.
So as I'm doing this, some interesting facts about this worm bin is I think today it is 1,008 days old, and it's had 97 feedings. So we're almost coming up on its 100th feeding, which is pretty remarkable for a worm bin that's made out of 2 20-gallon fabric pots to be lasting this long. I'm really impressed with this bin. Whoa, finally we found a peach seed. You know what? Let's take a little break, and we are gonna break this thing up. All right, hopefully this will work. Oh, wow. That was way harder than I thought it was going to be. And check it out. Here is the actual seed. Almost looks like an almond inside of it. Very cool. That's going to go in there. I think we can make this piece a little smaller.
Hazardous duty pig.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Are you taking selfies? Oh my gosh. Anything I'll be able to use in the video?
Probably not.
I'm just gonna show how much I've gotten so far in here, and you can still see some worms somewhere. Of course, as soon as I say that, I can't find any, but there are still worms in here, but this is gonna be great. We're gonna mix this all up, get a good volume. Everything's gonna be nice and fluffy. Trying to kind of go slow and just kind of give it a belly rub here so that any of the worms can sense what I'm doing and dive down. I have a feeling there's gonna be a pretty good mound under there. This is definitely not the easiest way. Holy man, just add this to my list of not good ideas. Jeez. I don't know how I imagined this going. It wasn't something like this.
Yeah, I kind of pictured it different too. I don't know why.
Well, what picture did you see? Because I could use that picture right now. I'm just curious. I'm going to dig down and see what we got as far as worms go. Yep, lots of them. They're all diving down, so that's good. That's just one little section at the top. Imagine what it's going to be deep down in there.
Jeez, we're literally not even halfway done.
No, we're probably a third. But I mean, since I started like this, there's no better way to do it than to make them do the work by continuing to go down. Oh, mango seed. Oh yeah, a little hideout. A little hideout for some big ones. Let's take that out. Dump them out. That over there. Yeah, a little cluster of them right there.
Hopefully this worm ball doesn't disappoint.
Oh, it won't. Don't give up on us. This is the point where you always start doubting
No.
the situation. Yeah.
No.
Yep.
At 37 minutes.
Yeah, because you're done. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
what the heck? Don't mind me just adding a little weight here. Well, when I get done, I'll kind of scrape the top. Does it at least look like it's getting smaller?
Yeah.
Really? Doing good. Oh, several big ones in here. This is filling up really nicely. I think I've gotten most of the worms out. Probably 80%, 90%, I don't know. Oh, missed it, my left and my right again.
It's okay. Chalk it up to 43 minutes of doing this.
But who's counting?
Yeah, clearly not me.
The producer is ready to be done. Oh, there's a
Ooh, do you want to
stem.
squeeze it?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's definitely breakable. Some worms in it. It's still attached to me. But yeah, I think it can be chunked up. You mean with the pliers? Oh, it's...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's...
So about a year.
Yeah, because it's almost Halloween. There's lots of worms all throughout it, so I think I'm going to leave it intact. Yeah, I would say about a year, and then you can really break them apart. This part's a little tough, but cool.
You have your glasses on. Dude.
You're killing me. You are killing me. Yes, I got my old man readers on.
1 hour.
1 hour, jeez. We'll be done here in 20 minutes. I just gotta dig under like this.
Oh, Pat.
Oh.
You ruined it.
No, they'll squirm down. But wow, there's gonna be a lot down there. I just get bored. Oh, my legs are killing me. Falling asleep.
Stand up a minute.
Oh yeah, stand up. I'm like the tiny worm bin. I don't even care about the babies right now. I just want to be done.
Oh.
Check it out. Yeah, you saw that too?
Mm-hmm.
That is pure worms. We are getting so close. All right.
Oh,
just
man.
a little bit more. Oh, maybe I should just turn it over.
But you have to be able to dump the whole thing over to see.
All right, we think that there's just a giant worm ball under here because we keep running into piles and piles of worms every time we dig, and we're getting so many of them into the bin. So let's just dig underneath and flip it. Oh yeah, piles of them. So many. Tell you're not completely satisfied.
It's fine. It's good enough.
Next time we'll have to have you helping me.
Mm-hmm, probably. Or we just don't need to do this for another 3 years.
Yes, I would agree. Well, I gave up on counting the tiny worm bin. I thought nothing would ever be harder, but this is pretty hard.
They're gonna think we're crazy.
Oh, we are crazy. Nothing to think about.
I'm just along for the ride.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm not the crazy
You're not
one.
the crazy one? Crazy for
I just
marrying
had
me.
to video it.
Ooh, another peach. Oh, and out comes the little seed. It's so wet and juicy in there. Wow. All right, home stretch. Come on, we can do this. I don't know. I feel like just beneath this surface here.
More worms.
Let's dig underneath. Oh, that's what we're talking about. All right, I think we can just pile all of these in. Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
That is what we were looking for.
Whew.
Those are all going into, and what I'll do is I'll just skim off the top for our final count or weigh-in here. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, like an hour and 45 minutes, but
Crazy.
all worth it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Barely. So when we do get to the final amount, it is going to be a little bit less than we typically have because we gave a bunch to my son to start his vermi hut. So probably gave him somewhere around half a pound to a pound of worms out of here. All right, so we are going to clean up here. We're going to weigh these out, and we will be back to feed the rest of the bin. Oh my gosh, that was exhausting. The executive producer and I took a break, and so did the worms. They're all in here. I took some of the castings off and put them in here, and then I started grabbing more worms out of here and put them in here, but I just had to quit. So the final weight is 1.761 pounds, and according to the formula that I've been using from the data that we're getting from other times picking out worms and stuff, this should be about 3,522 worms. Now, if we go 15% above that, that's 4,050 worms. If we go 20% above that, that's 4,226 worms. Plus, we gave about 1,000 to my son for his vermi hut. So probably anytime we're in this bin, somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 worms. And check it out, a worm laughing at me right now. I'm gonna put him in there, but we'll do a time lapse and dump all those worms in here. So what we're gonna do now is we are just gonna make a big trough, and we are gonna dump in the food that we have. But first, we'll put in some more bedding, and yep, another worm right there. Oh, another worm, another one. I gotta stop looking. We're gonna put in some unique bedding that I typically don't have. So on our walks around the neighborhood, there is one place where there is a deciduous tree that someone planted. So it is actually shedding its leaves and turning colors. So we're gonna put this in there. And now I'll also get to understand what some of the other worm channels and some of you folks have been commenting on, and that is that it gets really annoying when you get these little tiny sticks from these leaves in there, but we're going to put those in there. And then of course I'm going to add in some of my shredded bedding, and you can see I've added a little bit of paper as well, and just a little bit more because we have kind of a juicy feeding here. And here you go. This is again more innards of the pumpkins that our sons and their significant others made, and it was previously frozen and thawed out a little bit. It actually was out there with me the whole time we were counting because I thought we might do it out there, but I was just too tired. So we're going to put this there. We also have an apple. Try not to spray the executive producer there. And really juicy, but that's okay because under all these castings is another layer of shredded cardboard. And then I was thinking about putting some of this stuff in there, and I think I'm going to do it anyway. Again, if you're just getting started, if you don't have a 3-year-old bin, one that has about 4,000 worms in there, then I would not put this many food scraps in. I've got a ton of microbes, a ton of worms that are going to feast on this. And this center hole right here is probably going to heat up a little bit, but that's okay because our nights are getting cooler. But let's put some more bedding on. All right, just in time, I remembered some of our amendments, and we're going to put some worm chow on this right here. Just kind of a light spraying of it. And then we'll put in some of our used coffee and tea grounds, just more food for them and more nutrients for my garden. And then finally, we're going to put in some eggshell grit. And you'll see me put a lot in here over time, but really you don't need a whole lot of grit. They'll use this and then poop it out and reuse it. All right, now we're gonna go in with a little bit of shredded cardboard bedding on top and just a little bit more. All right, I'm gonna push this down because we need to bury this up, and then we are gonna put 3,522 worms right on top of here so they can dig down and dive down and go right into that yummy feeding. So there we go. This is also the first time I haven't put fresh pine needles on, but we'll get back to that next time. And we're going to do a big harvest because there's so many worm castings in here. All right, I think we're ready. Get that out of the way. All right, here we go. Whoa! Oh my gosh. This might take a while. looks like most of them are just under the surface. So we're gonna add some more bedding. There we go, just like that, and a little bit more. And then we'll just sprinkle in a little bit more water over our garden, and that will about do it. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope you really enjoyed this long, drawn out weighing of the worms, but it needed to be done. It's been about 2 years since we did it. So I hope your worm bins are doing well. So happy vermicomposting, everybody. Take care now. Woo, this is way full. I like it.